the MC for the day. With great pleasure and a very big thank you to Frank Coletta. Appreciate you being here today. Thank you very, very much. And we'll try to keep the speeches and things down to as little as possible. There's a couple of things we're going to do. There's an official launch, there's a plaque, a little bit of a surprise, and we're going to do a ceremonial kick-off. What we're doing here today, since I acquired the property about 8 years ago, we've had it as a private club. The golfers who were here probably were a little bit upset that it closed formally. But a couple of years ago, Rale came to me and a few of the gentlemen of the business establishment with a concept of maybe doing something in soccer. Thank you all for attending, and let's all enjoy the day. So.
I am Frank Coletta, ladies and gentlemen, your MC for today. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can ask you to put your hands together for our guest of honour today. Here, Mr. Gough Whitlam, the Right Honourable Gough Whitlam, former Prime Minister of Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, he's already stolen the show just a few minutes ago. Mr. Edmund Perillo, the Director of Cumberland Grove Country Club, will now address you. Eddie.
Once again, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A very special welcome to you, sir, the Honourable Mr. Gough Whitlam. Thank you so very much for attending today, this very special function. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to the left of me, Southern Districts Soccer Association, the President, Mr. Larry Grant, Mr. Ron Hughes, Treasurer, Secretary, Mr. Annika Valali, the Treasurer, and a special guest from Soccer, New South Wales, Mr. Jim Forrest. We have a few more people about to turn up. So I think the weather's treated us perfectly. Today, we're doing an official launch, a kick-off of some planning of a few years that's taken place. Concepts thrown around, ideas through the gentleman himself, Mr. Rale Rasic, and a few other friends who came to me a few years ago, with a proposal to set up a soccer academy, a training centre for our junior youth.
Ladies and gentlemen, as Eddie said, the 1974 Socceroos bus, a replica of the exact same one that took the team right through Germany all those years ago. We've had the 2006 version, but to go forward boldly into the future, you do have to remember your past, do you not? And this is a stellar past of our game. We've got some of the youngsters that will hopefully follow in the footsteps of the likes of Doug Utjesenovic, Manfred Schaefer, Ray Richards and Gary Manuel, and maybe there's a coach or two among them that will equal the deeds of Mr. Rale Rasic himself. So as the kids come out, a round of applause, if you might, for the 1974 Socceroos as they make their way out as well. And I think leading them off, and that is Mr. Manfred Schaefer, first cab off the rank. Manfred will be followed by Gary Manuel, one of the 74 Socceroos squad members as well. Dougie Utjesenovic, that free-flowing right back, what a talent. Ray Richards, the hard man with the long throw in midfield. And of course, the man who steered them there, Mr. Rale Rasic. As I said, to go into the future, which is represented by the young children of the Southern Districts in front of us, you have to remember your past. Introduce yourself to Mr. Whitlam, of course, and ask you to the microphone and tell us a little bit about what is a very, very bold plan. Good luck.
There is no greater privilege in the world for me than be next to the man that I admire, and I was so privileged to be good friends since 1972. He inspired the nation, and he also complemented his knowledge to the nation till 90th birthday. So to have the man of this statue here next to me, it's a highlight for me. It's not football, it's true football. This concept here is an idea of mine. I pestered the man and I said how great idea that one day this property will be something special to serve the community, to keep the kids off the streets, to give them our knowledge, to share that with us. And of course, who else would do it but real Socceroos? I know at the certain levels of administration was said that they don't want to do anything with the past, but I don't think so. There is any future in anything you do without the past linked with the future. Our country historically is known through what we do, and it's known throughout the world as the best place to live and best place in the world to raise your children. We still live in the most beautiful country in the world. Southern districts, 12,000 kids will enjoy service that we are going to give to the boys and girls. And let me stress this, it's important here when we say boys and girls, because for too long we've been saying boys and boys and boys. Today we have to link everybody together. And I'll tell you a few stories about the man. Just one of them. He had the tears just running. And I would develop tears too at times. So what I used to do, I used to turn to my right away from the team. He stood straight. And I said to him, how comes that you have a tears when you hear this national anthem 5-6 times a day? And he taught me one lesson. He said, that's a pride and honor. Comes in open, that's an expression of my feelings towards that anthem. Ever since, I never turned my head right or left. I stood straight. If the tears were coming, I was so proud. And that was inspiration to me, this picture. That's from that game when I learned that lesson. How do you feel about land and how much you respect place where you live and where you belong to? And so that is a special privilege. Second, Blacktown Workers Club, Opera House, 72, we remember that. Arthur George said to me, hey, he said, I will never allow you to go to the meetings of that nature. I said, Arthur, there's two things we cannot talk, politics and religion. And we continue with the meeting. But probably the reason that I got sacked would be that one. So did you too. So, second happening, Adelaide. I was coaching Adelaide City, and I received a call. Where are you? I said, I just finished training. He said, can you come down to Park Royal for beer? And at the first I didn't know who was calling. I thought probably it was Rale Rasic. But then I realized who was calling to share the beer. And we had at Park Royal wonderful beer and enjoyed our discussion. So this is what is sport about. Everlasting, never stops and stays in memory forever. Because this is a wonderful time for me and wonderful time for the people around me. And as you can see, I have quite strong backup. Thank you for the privilege. Enjoy the day. Would be fantastic day. Turn sometimes towards this past 74, and that can never be taken away. Someone said, who's Hidnik? I said, yes, but Captain Cook was the first. So whose congratulations, Captain, we will remember you too. Thank you for the privilege.
Thank you very much, Rale. I was actually going to whip out a photo of my own, playing for the Mount Pritchard Juniors in the Southern Districts all those years ago, but I've been trumped. He's pulled out one of Gough Whitlam and himself before the Uruguay match. There you go. Now, without any further ado, won't keep you kids, so I know you're all a bit warm there. We will pass the microphone over to our guest of honour here today, the Right Honourable Mr Gough Whitlam. He, I believe, has consented to become the patron of Cumberland Grove Country Club. So a round of applause as I pass the
Distinguished guests, past, present and future Socceroos and supporters of football. It's an immense honour to be back at this site in my old electorate and to open the Cumberland Grove Country Club in the presence of my old friend Rale Rasic, the Socceroos' first World Cup coach. About the time Rale arrived in Australia, Margaret and I crossed over the railway station, Cabramatta, from Albert Street, where we lived, and I opened the Orange Grove Golf Club and was made its patron. Margaret played here golf for 10 years. It's amazing how things change. Now, the list of facilities to be located on this site is impressive. And an Australian Football Museum, 3 full-size pitches, 15 mini training fields, a sports injury clinic, coffee shop and the lot. It will also house the Southern Districts Football Association, the home of over 11,000 players from 30 clubs. Now I'm quoting from the letter that I received inviting me here a few weeks ago. The figures may already be too small. Rale was an outstanding footballer from his earliest years, and he related how he met and how we learned from each other. He's told you, and I was quoting when I prepared this from the Rale Rasic story as told to Ray Gatt. You ought to get a copy of it, because it mentions, for instance, the things that he mentioned. The way Sir Arthur George, given us Sir Arthur, he loved that. He sacked him immediately after we got into the World Cup. And of course he referred to referees. Now it's true, I was sent off by a referee. And he was a knight too, Ceremonial. Top hat, tails. And he sent me off without any warning with a yellow card. He gave me the red card without any warning. See, I know all about corrupt referees. There is no more memorable event in the history of Australian football than the Soccers qualifying in 1974 as one of the best 16 teams in the world already at that time. It was the first international sporting event where Advance Australia Was Fair was sung as the Australian national anthem. I remember 74, and of course it was not only Germany but it was in Australia. And of course we sang for the first time our own national anthem. In the Rale Rasic story, I was impressed by his words. I estimate I have coached more than 1 million kids in various coaching clinics in Australia and the United States over 40 years, and I enjoyed every minute of it. That's the essence of the man. Rale has been widely honoured at home and abroad. For example, in the Australian Sporting Hall of Fame. That's in the book. And now in the Australian Football Museum at this great complex, this renovated complex. In this club, there will be the Rale Rasic International Football Coaching Academy and the Rale Rasic Goalkeeping Academy. From this club, there will come an ever-growing number of footballers of great skills and high standards. All Australians will be proud of their achievements at home and around the world. I thank you for asking me to open the club. I do so with the greatest pleasure.
As I said earlier, a red letter day. We've had a few of them in football over the past year or so, but this promises to be what we've all been waiting for, something for our youth, for the future Socceroos, if you will. And on the count of 1, 2, 3, this is what it's all about. Ladies and gentlemen, Cumberland Grove, home. Everything you see before you.
Thank you. And I read it out. Cumberland Grove, the home to the Cumberland Grove Country Club. I'm sorry.
The home of Cumberland Grove Country Club, Rale Rasic International Football Academy, Rale Rasic International Goalkeepers Academy, Southern District Soccer Football Association Incorporated, Australian Football Museum, Café Club 74, officially opened by the Honourable Gough Whitlam ACQC, patron, Wednesday the 16th of August 2006.
Kids, this is your place. This is where you're going to be learning, playing, growing, maturing, and hopefully enjoying many, many happy days. I'd like you to join me on the count of 1, 2, 3. We get them to kick the ball off. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Larry Grant from the Southern Districts Soccer Football Association.
You better get off that
Mr. Whitlam, thank you very much. We all thought this was good, but having somebody like Mr. Whitlam open this for us, it was a pipe dream for us 6 months ago, and we thought, who do we get? And we brought Mr. Whitlam's name up, and we all just looked at each other and said, yeah, right. The man is here. Like, awesome. We go up the bloke beside him. I've got another legend. 2 Australian icons, absolute icons, and for us to be afforded the opportunity to be involved with these guys here as the Southern District Soccer Football Association, it's just a dream come true for all of us. And while it's an honour to have somebody like Mr. Whitlam and Mr. Rasic, first time I've called him Mr. Rasic, here, we couldn't do any of this, none of this, without Mr. Eddie Perillo. And he is the man that has made this happen. We will make it happen from here, but Eddie has put us on the road. You know, we're going to plough those fields, and we're going to make this place a mecca of football and the envy of everybody else in this bloody country. Okay?
Yeah! You heard the man? There's a pleasure to ever work on myself. And just finally, before we close, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think there's any more formalities. Thank you, Ed. I might just say that with the last line there, we see Café Club 74. I think if you look to the children to our right, and the fact that Café Club 74, with the 74 Socceroos being here, it's something that's unparalleled in the world of football, where you will have our juniors coming through, hopefully the next Socceroos, being looked over by the likes of Mr. Ray Richards, Manfred Schaefer, Doug Utjesenovic, and also Gary Manuel, and all their mates, watching the next breed of Socceroos while they sip on their coffee. I think, Ray, yours is a latte normally, isn't it? Skim. Also goes by the name of beer. Anyway, I think you'll agree, a great day for football, and a round of applause again for our guests of honour and the fans. Thank you.
can't get enough.
Speaking of youth, former Socceroos coach Rale Rasic has launched a bold football coaching academy aimed at targeting the growing population of the southern Sydney area. Some members of Rasic's 1974 World Cup team were on hand for the official launch, as was former Prime Minister and close friend Gough Whitlam, who was quick to use football terminology when reminiscing on his political demise in 1975.
I was sent off by a referee. And he was a knight too, Sir Robert. Top hat, tails. And he sent me off without any warning with a yellow card. He gave me the red card without any warning. Now, I know all about corrupt referees.
The Rale Rasic Football Academy will feature 12 mini-sized fields, an Australian football museum, and is expected to take 18 months to complete.
Rale Rasic is an Australian football icon, his reputation testament to this latest project. Joined by members of Australia's 1974 World Cup team, the former national coach arrived to the launch of his self-named coaching academy. At 90 years of age, the frail frame of former Prime Minister Gough Whitlam also makes an appearance. It's the continuation of a long-term friendship between the pair, one that started 34 years ago. Ironically, both men have a common past. Both were sacked by their respective bosses of the time. Whitlam prefers to use football terminology to reminisce of his political demise in the mid-70s.
I was sent off by a referee. And he was a knight too, Sir Robert. Top hat, tails. And he sent me off without any warning with a yellow card. He gave me the red card without any warning. See, I know all about corrupt referees.
This is what it's all about. Ladies and gentlemen, Cumberland Grove, home of everything you see before you.
The Rale Rasic Clinic is still 18 months from completion. It currently sits on the grounds of a golf course, which will be converted to cater for the 11,000 juniors who represent the 30 teams from Sydney's Southern Districts Club.
My ultimate vision is to have an academy which will stage international tournaments, which will bring international teams here, which will do sports exchange, cultural and otherwise. And I think too many links are only from the sporting point of view, and I think in life it's a bit more than just being involved in sport.
Rasic recently visited Beijing, where he was asked to play ambassador for a similar project being undertaken in the Chinese capital.
Enormous tournament academy which has 240 acres property, 22 soccer fields, 18 mini fields. Then the clubs like Belgrade representative team, Bayern Munich, teams from Japan, Korea and so on. Wonderful festival of sport. And then I think that this is most marvelous. And my ideals are that we link top level of football in this country and the lowest level, so the kids can look up to Dwight Yorks and other players whom we regard as superstars.
The new coaching academy will incorporate 3 full-sized fields and 12 mini-fields. It's hoped professional clubs will consider using the facility as a full-time base. It has the potential of one day accommodating a second Sydney A-League team.
I'm sure that our facilities here will attract attention of every club, because this would be something that has never been done in this country. And so we are aiming for perfection.
'74 boys, a lot of our grounding was overseas, and we never ever had this sort of facility to push us forward. And the kids really have every opportunity now if they want to grasp it and go ahead with their careers.
With the sporting landscape changing following the success of this year's World Cup, Rasic hopes his coaching knowledge will make another mark on the stars of the future.